E360 TV proudly presents Messages of Inspirational Stories, live streaming now to millions of devices including Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, with your host, Donna Guinois, producer and host, Jim Grant, producer and host, along with Michaela Vidal, administrator and host, and Gaia Guinois Balconi Wada, editor-in-chief. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in today. Be sure and share this video with others. We're going to be on YouTube, Facebook Live. We're also on we have a running blog. It records our shows on our website. And just be sure and share this information with others, because today we're going to be talking about multi-level marketing business. My experience with that started back in the 70s and a little bit in the 80s, and I never was successful at it. And a lot of people say, well, Jim, I can relate to that. The biggest thing that I did not like was the fact that as soon as I joined, the focus shifted from the great products to recruit. And, you know, a lot of people get into that mode, and it's hard to recruit someone when you've never made $1 yourself. Can you relate to that? I'm being honest with you here. And another thing people like to ask you, and this is a horrible question to be asked. It's the only business I know of just about. Someone will say, are you making any money? And you don't want to lie. Oh, my goodness. Multi-level marketing is a wonderful industry if it's approached in the right way. It started back after, a lot of people say Avon was the first. Some people say Amway. They're both great companies. They're both great leaders. They really are. And it started back after World War II. For 4 years here in America, people were tired of death, doom, and gloom and war. And when the soldiers returned, the military returned from World War II, there was a joy and a jubilee. Now everybody wanted to focus on living the life of abundance. And I almost forgot, and that reminded me, our show is proudly brought to you by the good guys at the 6minutewebinar.com and by Mr. Bill Heinrich. His book, The 7 Levels of Truth. Mr. Bill Heinrich is a personal friend of mine. And I like to always share that first sentence at the very top. And because this is it in a nutshell. It says this book is, for anyone seeking answers, solutions, and success in life. Our birthright, your birthright, think about this. You were born with this right, this universal right, is to live a life full of abundance, love, peace, and joy. And the 7 levels of truth allows you to achieve all of these results in your life. No one can hold you back. That's amazing. It really is. And we talk about your birthright and the ability to enjoy love and abundance. You were born for that. You really were. And I want to share with you a little bit about, multi-level marketing, where it began, how it started. And the base model in a lot of the multi-level marketing companies, it hasn't changed, or it had to change, I imagine, with the lockdown of COVID, because that changed everything. We were forced from going from a physical world to a virtual world, staying at home and all that. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a sniffle. And anyway, when it first started out, multi-level marketing, that is back in 1955. President Eisenhower signed the interstate bill to be able to build the interstates across the United States, which is a wonderful thing. And all countries, most major countries, all major countries for that matter, they have interstate systems, and it's a wonderful thing to be able to travel and go long distances, and and not have to go through every little small town and on 2-lane roads and all that. And that's the time in the United States when suburbia just just boomed. And that's when baby boomers came into existence. I'm a baby boomer, and people were they were wanting the good life. And when you look back in the history of the 50s and 60s of the United States, it was an exciting time. It was a fun time. It was all about having, this and having that. And it's a good thing. It really is. And that being said, let me point out very, very early and log this into your mind that money is the poorest motivator on planet Earth. Think about that. I want you to just remember that. Brand that into your brains, get it in there, because money is not the catalyst for success. It's a reward for your efforts. It's exactly what it is. At the 6-minute webinar, for example, we've interviewed many, many people, and we asked them, what is it that you want to do? I want to make money. Well, everybody needs money to live, just like we need oxygen to breathe. But that is a terrible answer, because now you're looking at the end result without delivering anything of value to people. And when multi-level marketing first started out, during that time, people in their suburbia, they loved their neighborhoods. They took a lot of pride in their homes, in their neighborhood. And they would have cookouts and things of this nature. And people would get together, and there was such an entrepreneurial spirit in America. You'd go, people would go there. Let's just say you would go there, for example, and your neighbor would be talking about a way of making money. Oh, okay, yeah. And I've got a way of making money too. Okay, well, let's share. It was very open, very receptive, and word of mouth ignited the multi-level marketing industry. That's how Amway really took right on off. And Amway's a great company. They're all great companies. Let me say this right out of the gate. I truly believe that the big multi-level marketing companies, they offer the best products or the best service available simply because they have to. Their business and their reputation is built on good products. It's mandatory. And so what happened over the course of time, because the word of mouth and neighbor helping neighbor and all that, it just grew. But the problem was, starting in the 80s, and then it drifted into the 90s and so on and so forth, it was an out-of-date model. It was very dated. Especially now, people value, listen to this is another goodie, people value time more than they do money. Did you get that? People value time more than they do money. And the thing that I used to really hate, and maybe I shouldn't use the word hate, but I did not like it, was the fact I got to go out and recruit. And you always ask that question, what are you doing on Thursday night? And people became so bombarded with that. As soon as someone said, what are you doing Tuesday night or Thursday night? You go like, oh, you getting set up. I hate to say that, but that's just the way it. Plus the fact, another nicety to know. Please brand this into your brain, okay? You've got to be yourself. For you folks out there that's been down the alley I'm talking about, you know that you can never be a human parrot. You know what I'm talking about. You go hear these guys or gals that make it big in multi-level marketing, and they're, I'll just use the word diamond, whatever title that they have, they've reached the upper levels of achievement. They've worked hard at it. It usually takes at least 2 years of hard work. Just keep on, keeping on, keeping on, keeping on. And that's a long time for a lot of people. People lose interest, especially when people get excited. And then 2 days later, they won't even return your telephone call. Or if they see you coming, they want to, oh no, they want to look away and they want to avoid you like you got the plague or something. But you try to go out and you try to be a human parent. You try to, these people, when they speak in front of you on stage, you go like, wow, this is amazing. This is, oh yes, I want this. But you can't duplicate that. And the reason why is because that's not you. So you take a deep breath and you sit back. So, okay, Jim, what are you trying to say here? The question is, why did you join that company? Did you join it just to make money? If you did, you've already took the wrong fork in the road. Because money is the poorest motivator on planet Earth. Did you join the company because it had a great product? If you said yes to that, that's where your focus should be. You've got to take a deep breath and relax. Don't worry about recruiting people. That will come in time. Let me explain. Let's say that the multi-level marketing company that you join specializes in health products. Okay? Pick one health product. And I'm going to pick a very popular, like losing weight. People around the world look at Americans and say, what in the world are you folks eating? Because a lot of people today in this country, as sad as it is, they look like they're corn fed. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm just being honest. They just, just big people, And take a product like losing weight. Okay, that's your focal point. That is one of the things that the 6-minute webinar helps you do. Now, this is not a sales pitch for a 6-minute webinar. I'm using it only as an example. And the questions they asked in there is, what is the one thing that losing weight product or whatever product that you choose, what is the one thing it will do to benefit your ideal client? Remember now, multi-level marketing businesses is a one-on-one business. So get out of this abracadabra world of how many, if you could get 150 people under you and get 200 over here or what, get out of that mindset. That's a train wreck for you. It will derail you. It will depress you. And that's why a lot of people drift off into, the land of failure. And we're going to, share some examples, going to talk about some of the companies today. But what is the one product that you have, your company has, that can benefit your ideal client? Communicate to that ideal client just like you're having a conversation with a friend. Be real, be down to earth, be the type of person that they want to be like. In other words, be helpful, be considerate, be concerned, and be compassionate about how they feel. And you can do this with your marketing plan. Your ideal marketing plan will attract the people that you want to talk to about losing weight. Someone like me, I'm 5'10", I weigh about 158 pounds or something like that. I'm not a client. So therefore, your good marketing would repel someone like me because you can't help me. I have no interest in that. And you don't want to preach the gospel to a guy like me about losing weight. Look at all the emails we get of stuff. And you go like, I've got no interest in that. And these people just keep sending out emails. Of course, they got these, apps and stuff that do that for them. Email like there are several brands out there that generate emails and stuff like that. And all they care about is just having a good, valid email address. They don't care about the message. They don't care about communicating with me as an individual on a one-on-one basis. So that's an automatic disconnect. So what you want to do, you want to be able to use social media to your advantage. You want to go to groups, join groups, blogs of people who are like-minded about losing weight. Because people want to know you, people want to like you, and people want to trust you before they will buy one thin dime of product from you. Does that make sense? And when it comes to communicating with them and you're sharing the benefit of what this product can do for them, and then they see the value in it, then you can go to the next level. You can say, I'll continue to sell you. I'm going to say this in a paraphrase kind of a way. I can continue selling you the product. But in our company, we have a business model where you can buy it wholesale. And I will teach you the same thing that I've been doing to attract clients that can use and see the benefit and become sold on this product because it's so great, it helps them lose weight. Would you entertain a conversation with me? And chances are they'll say yes, because you've already built a rapport with them, especially if they're a client of yours and they're buying from you. But at no time, please don't ever dangle that big carrot in front of their nose like, hey, 100 people like lose weight. Well, guess what? You get 100 people in here and da, 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 da. That's an automatic disconnect. Because this is another good marketing clue. And we all like clues, right? Ask yourself one, two-worded question. After every comment you make, so what? When you're going to send someone something and you read it and you sit back and think, so what? Is this something that I want to say, or does this have value to the person that's reading it? So many times we get focused on what it is that we want to say. We want to sound impressive. We want to sound like we're a subject matter expert. That's our pride and our ego. We're all guilty of that. And do a good checkup from the neck up, as Zig Ziglar used to say. Ask yourself that question. Also, if you're not real sure, send it out to some people that you know and trust and say, I'm thinking about doing this, and this is what I said. I want some honest feedback from you. How does this sound to you when you read it? And listen to them. And that's a good way to get good positive feedback. You get good positive energy and input from other people, and it will help you expand your knowledge in how you're going to communicate with people in the future. Because a lot of people you're going to communicate with, you don't even know. Because you met them online and they're interested in losing weight, and you want to just communicate that only. You don't want to tell them about all the other products your company may offer, because that just confuses them. Because think about this. If you were truly interested in losing weight, would you want to hear about anything else? No. You started in that conversation to hear about losing weight. What's in it for you? And that's what everybody, looks at thing. What's in it for me? If you go buy a car, okay, what's in it for me? You're not looking at what's in for the salesman or the salesperson. No, you could care. I wouldn't say you could care less about it, but that's not your top priority. And the salesperson will probably stand there and tell you what they want to say, try to sound impressive and point out the feature and the benefits. and all that. But see, you're really going to make your decision on what's in it for you. Is this the right color? Does this car have the features that you want? There's a lot of things you're going to be weighing in your mind, but everything is centered around you. The same principle is true when people make any kind of a buying decision on no matter what the product or service is. What's in it for them? Will it solve their problem? And every time, I just touched on it lightly, every time that you mention a feature, mention the benefit. This product is all natural. For example, and that way you have to worry about, any of the things that, that's not good for you. And I'm paraphrasing that badly, but anyway, you know what I mean. When you point out a feature, point out the benefit to them, what's in it for them, keep that in your mind. Every single marketing comment you make, what's in it for them? And then you can go and grow and build from that. Now, I still am, I'm a lifetime member of this one multi-level marketing company, or they call it affiliate marketing or whatever they call it. It's the same thing, okay? I just call it multi-level marketing because network marketing is what they call it. The principles are the same. And I joined because of a friend. He wanted me to join with him, and I did. But in reality, I also wanted the benefits of why I joined. But right after I joined, then this DM, district manager, or DM, he was a DM. I can't remember I'll just call him a district manager. He's one of the higher tier individuals, double diamond or whatever he is. And anyway, his focus was on, we're going to have a meeting here Thursday night. Can you recruit someone? How many people are you going to bring? Well, that's an automatic turnoff for me. And it's also an automatic turnoff for people that you contact. Because they tell you get your hot list, your warm list, and your cold list. Hot list is people know you very well. Warm list, people that you know of and know of you. Cold list is anybody look at you for 2 seconds at Walmart. And I never felt comfortable with that. And so therefore, I felt like I was set up to fail rather than set myself up to succeed. And here is something else that's very valuable to you. Make sure you have your own website. I know what you're going to say. Well, my company will not allow me to have a website. Really? That is a myth, and that is 100% false. And it's also, I don't know if it's illegal or not, but I mean, what are you possibly going to say on a website that you would not say to someone down at Walmart, for example? You know what you can say. You know you can't make fictitious claims. At least I hope you do. And just have your own website because this is your business. You've got to own that business. It may be yourname.com, or you may have another company name.com or whatever. But let people know who you are. They go to your website. They can see, things about you. They can kind of get a briefing on who you are, what you do. And, don't try to put it in a sales pitch. And also, too, this is a nicety to know. On your website, please don't make it look like a shrine of your ego. You all know what I'm talking about. You go to some people's websites and all they do is talk about them. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the other. You look at my picture, da, 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 da. It has no value to the person out there wanting to know whether or not they want to give you 2 minutes of their time. Does anybody care if you're an author or a speaker or a double diamond? No. Am I making sense? Because multi-level marketing is a great business model. It's a great way for people to start because it's a home-based business. You can do the business online. And for people who are kind of like introverted and they don't like to, talk a lot to people, it's a great way for them to communicate in the written word or in a little video that they can send. And let me just share some information here, if I may. Let's see. The most profitable MLM companies to join are like Amway and Natural Cosmetics. And Amway has an annual earnings of about 8.8 billion and a net profit, net value, I should say, of about 4 billion. And can a multi-level marketing company make you rich? And the answer to that is yes, it can. There's no question about that. But take a deep breath and relax and allow you, listen to this, allow you to grow with your business. That's a prerequisite on any business that you're in. I don't care what it is. You've got to start out one step at a time, and you've got to grow and let it season in your mind. Even in the military, when I served in the military, I knew a few people who were promoted, and they got promoted fast as they went up the ranks, maybe 2 or 3 ranks real quickly. And the disconnect in that is, in fact, one of them admitted to me when I was an instructor and I was sharing some information with the folks, the class, who I was and all that, and some of the things I've done. And I wasn't talking about me. I was sharing stories about things that went well in the past and things that lessons learned along the way for the benefit of the class. And afterwards, this one instructor, she said to me, she says, wow, she says, you've got so much experience. I can't say what you say on stage. And I told her, I said, well, just be yourself. You don't have to go down that street if you don't have anything to offer. Just be yourself. And that is so critical in everything. You can't talk like a double diamond. So forget that. But you can be yourself. You can have a compassionate heart. You can communicate with people what's in it for them. And when it comes to an MLM, is it a real job? You better believe it is. You've got to embrace it. This is my business. I'm going to work at it like a farmer works his field. He's going to prepare the fertile soil. He's going to plant the seeds. He's going to, watch the crops grow. He's going to weed, take out the weeds and all that. He's going to do everything that crop requires so that in the fall of the year, he'll be able, or at harvest time, he'll be able to reap the efforts that he has sown. And that's what you want to do. And when it comes to multi-level marketing, a lot of people say, well, what's number one? A lot of people say, well, if it's been around a long time, I shouldn't join it. No. What's the reason that you want to join any particular company? Sure, check them out. Make sure they've got a little bit of a track record. They've been around for a few years. Sure, that's only being prudent. Because you don't want to look like popcorn on a hot stove. You're with this company here, and then you jump to this company, and you jump to that company, because that's just going to, fall back on you. And when it comes to the top network marketing companies, a lot of it has to do with health and beauty items. That is the top priority. That's what's on people's mind. I want to look young. I want to be, good looking, I want my health, and that is such an important thing for you to understand and to appeal to their vanity, what they really want. Here is something that we hear a lot about. A lot of people have the misconception that multi-level marketing is a pyramid. It is not. Because it's pyramid shape. Sure it is. But so is corporations, right? Think about that. You have your Your bottom level management, you got your employees, the management above that, and next tier of management, up and up and up and up to the CEO and so on and so forth. Everything is pyramid shape, but it is not a pyramid because someone that's over here that may be working, there might be someone down below them on the other side, and these people here can go up and make a lot of money. That in itself debunks the pyramid scheme. Besides that, pyramids are illegal in just about every country I know. So obviously companies, big name companies that are in network marketing or multi-level marketing, they'd already be out of business decades ago. Their CEOs would already be, peeling potatoes at the penitentiary, doing time in prison. So if someone thinks that it's a multi-level marketing is a pyramid scheme, the best thing you can do is just thank you much for your opinion and love them enough to leave them alone, because do not preach the gospel to an atheist. You're going to frustrate them. You're going to wear yourself out, and you're not going to win. So don't even go there. If someone is that narrow-minded and ignorant, if I may use that term, don't associate yourself with people like that. Associate yourself with like-minded people who want to, in this case, I've been talking about lose weight. That should be your focal point. And that's how you build your business. Now, when it comes to some of the best companies around there, some of the highest, most respected companies is Amway. Amway has a lot of great products. They got a full blown, I'm going to use them as an example, and I'm not with Amway, okay? I'm familiar with them. I got a friend of mine, I forget what level he's at. He's very successful in Amway, and he started about, in the 80s. So he's been at it a long, long time, but he worked at it. And his philosophy was, all you have to do is change your buying habits. If you believe in the products and they serve you, then instead of buying at the retail price, buy them at the wholesale price. And just by changing your habits, if you really believe in the product, you'll automatically qualify for all these things, and you'll be able to build your business and attract people. And that was the model he used. And see, that is very, very, very duplicatable. When you're training subordinates, you got to have them in a program that is duplicatable. They're not going to be able to talk like you because they don't have the experience. They've got to have the time to grow with their business. They got to have the time for the business to season in their mind. Just like the farmer has to be patient when he plants a crop. He's got to allow time for the seed to even germinate and then for the plant to sprout up. That takes time. So be patient with yourself. Love yourself enough to be patient with yourself. Avon's a great company. Herbalife, Mary Kay. Of course, I'm not a, guys wouldn't necessarily be Mary Kay, but it's a very, very great company. And the list just goes on and on and on. And you can find everything from finance and insurance to wellness to essential oils like Young Living. I like their products. You can find all type of nutrition, healthcare, natural gas and energy, telecommunications. I mean, the list just, what is it that you want to be involved with? That's the question I want to ask you. What is the company? What is the products that they offer that you want to say, hey, I'm interested in those products and those services. I'd like to be a representative of those products and services because I believe in them. Notice how we're putting focus and emphasis on the product and the service. That's where your focus needs to be to build a successful business. That's the prerequisite for any business, right? Absolutely. You've got to believe that with your heart, your mind, and your soul. And you got to be committed to it. You can't get on some emotional roller coaster with its ups and downs and ins and outs and all that. And I've known people in multi-level marketing, they invite someone to a meeting and they get all excited and they get excited too. And then the next day they're as cold as ice. or 2 days later, they're cold as ice. And how does that make the person who invited them and got excited with them about the potential? It wears them out. That's what derails a lot of people with multi-level marketing. And I'm sitting here and I've been, not paying good attention to what I'm doing. But I also like to share something else with you. Here's Mr. Bill Heinrich's website, True Life Purpose Now, and you can find his book, The 7 Levels of Truth that I just showed earlier when we opened up the show. You can find it on Amazon. Bill's a personal friend of mine. If you do buy the book and if it's not a good fit for you, let Bill know. He will refund your money. We're not in it for the, in other words, we're not for sale. That's the main thing. And when it comes to being successful in business, I don't care if it's multi-level marketing. I don't care if you have a little TV show like I do. I don't care what it is. The people out there who follow you or will listen to you, they've got to know that deep down inside, you have a heart and a soul and you care about others. Because if they don't see that, they're gone. They're gone. And I'm just really excited because I know there's some people out there that I've given some good pointers to about multi-level marketing. Yes, be patient with yourself. Love yourself to say, I'm going to take a deep breath and relax. Every day I'm going to do something, even though it's little bitty things. Sometimes in life we want to do the big grandioso things, right? Don't even go there. Focus on how you can help one person with that product or that service today. And ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, I've been wanting to do this show. In fact, I've been asked to do this show. A couple of people says, Jim, you need to do that show on multi-level marketing because, a lot of people need to hear, I actually wrote a book on it one time. And I made it in a PDF file form, and I never had it published. I just gave it away to people. And people would say, wow, Jim, this is really something. You really know a lot about this. And no, I don't. I just know how people want to be treated. One of the courses that I've taught over the years in the course I created, Your Future Is Now, was the LLAR system. That's the letter L, the letter L, the letter A, and the letter R. Every single person you come in contact with, the first L tells you they want to be loved. They have the universal right to be loved. They were born to be loved. The second L represents the fact that every single person you come in contact with, they want to be liked. Everybody wants to be liked. The third letter is the letter A, which stands for appreciated. Every single person on planet Earth wants to be appreciated. And the R, that stands for respect. Everybody wants to be respected. And I share that with you, ladies and gentlemen, for the reason that whenever you come in contact with a total stranger, demonstrate through your word and your actions and everything about you that you love that person for being a human being. You're not there just to sweet talk them out of their credit card, okay? I think we've seen people that demonstrate that loud and clear. And be sure and let that be your first priority. And then be willing to let them know through your own morals, your own values, your own beliefs, and your own ethics that you will like them, even though they may be different than you. They may have different political beliefs. They may have different religious beliefs. That's okay, because we do not judge anybody. My mother used to tell me growing up many, many times, she used to call me Sonny Boy. sometimes when she wanted to tell me a nugget of a gold nugget of truth. And she says, Sonny boy, if you cannot say something nice about someone, please do not say anything at all. Let it go. And Mom, she had all of our all of our parents to some degree, and well, when I say all of our parents, I hope you had a mom and dad that demonstrated great wisdom. Because one thing about growing older and going through the pathway of life and the things that went well in your life, the lessons you learned in life, try to be the cream of the crop of that individual that walked through the trials and tribulations of life. And be sure and have the compassion to let that person know that you like them. Never discuss politics or religion in business. That's a disconnect. I remember one time when I was a boy, this is back in the 50s, for goodness sakes. I heard two men in a barber shop. The barber was cutting one guy's hair and they were talking. And the barber said, yeah, he says, the very first day, one of the first things they taught us in barber school was never allow politics or religion to be discussed in your barbershop. That will create division. Customers will leave and never come back, even though you may not be involved in the conversation, but you allowed it to go on in your shop. Just say, folks, we don't discuss politics and religion in here. If you want to talk about sports, tomatoes, whatever, that's fine. But do not, please, do not discuss politics or religion. And therefore, you're going to demonstrate that you love the person. You're going to demonstrate that you like the person. And let the person know, even though they're different than you, regardless if they're male or female or what group they belong to, it makes no difference. Let them know that you appreciate them and you appreciate their point of view. Because they may say no today, but as professional salespeople will tell you, a no today does not mean a no tomorrow. It might mean a yes. It could be the timing is wrong for that individual. Think about that. Let that soak in. Let that grab you. And then the R in that class that I taught was called respect. Let people know, demonstrate it, that even though they may be different than you, you still love them, you still like them, you still appreciate them, and you will respect them. And always, even if it's a parting of ways or, thank you for your consideration, whatever, always do it in a pleasing manner. Have a pleasing and likable persona about you, but let it be genuine. Don't put on a front. A blind man can see that a mile away when people are being phony. So just be yourself. And when it comes to, your business online, be sure and make sure that the person who is working with you and involved with you in any business that you may have, whether it's whether it's multi-level marketing, a virtual business online, or a physical business, in a location, make sure that that person knows that there is a 100% guarantee as far as if they're dissatisfied with the product, they will get their money back. That is why you want to interview companies and you want to align yourself with companies who have that standard. That's very, very, very important. Because if I'm dealing with a company and I ask them, what is your refund policy? And they all, you just need to do a disconnect right there, because their values in being in business will not align with all the things that I've said in this presentation about you being a very moral person, a very ethical person that has values, and you you do the LLAR system. You love people, you like people, you appreciate people, and you respect people. And if someone buys a product based on what you shared with them, and it's a disconnect for them, they don't like it or it didn't work or whatever, and then they contact you and say, well, I'd like to get my money back on this. And you go, you become the human parrot of the head shed, and you say, we don't offer refunds. What does that say about you as a person? To that client, it's going to say you lowered your standards to a substandard, but yet you presented yourself to have high morals, high values, and high ethics. Don't cheat yourself in life. There's too many wonderful companies out there that you can align yourself with that has good quality products that will stand behind them, because your name and your reputation is everything. And on your website there, I know a lot of people say, well, my company won't allow me to have websites. I've said that before. That's because the attorneys that represent those companies, they don't want to be hassled with going through and approving everybody's website. They say, well, we're just going to rule out website. You can't have a website. That just makes their job easier. And even if your company meets every bit of criteria, except they say, well, we don't encourage you to use websites. We'll provide you with a website. Okay. Well, guess what? You can have that website there, and you can buy your own domain, and you can have it go directly to your website. Because again, you're not going to say anything on your website that's going to make some fictitious, moronic claim. No, you're not, aren't you? Right? That's what they're concerned about. The attorneys are concerned that somebody's going to make some fictitious claim. It usually falls around money, okay? Like a get-rich-quick scheme. That's what scares them to death, and that's why they don't have the time either, in their defense, let me say, to go through and look at everybody's website. Okay, did they make any claims here that could roll back and be a legal hassle for us? That's where they're coming from. So appreciate that. But yes, you can have a website. Just make sure that all the information you share is the same type of information, is congruent with the head shed or the company. That's the only criteria you need to meet. You need to say the same things in the same way that they do. And you have the disclaimer there, results, vary, because it's true. You can't guarantee someone's income, because can you guarantee they'll get out of bed and work? No. So just do your homework. And in closing, I'm going to make this a little shorter than usual, a little shorter than normal. But in closing, remember this: interview companies. Ask yourself a very important question. Does this company represent the image that I want to represent to any and all future clients? And I'll tell you this little tidbit. I know they talk about the hot list, the warm list, and the cold list. I would not recommend that, because people prefer to do business with people that they've met, that they kind of like, okay, I like what this person says. I like their persona. I'm going to find a little more about them. It's easier to do business with strangers than it is family, okay? Because your family, they'll, well, I'm not going to go there. As my mother used to say, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. But you know what I mean. Your family will get because a person doing business with you online and interested in your product, they're not going to ask you, are you making any money? Isn't that a horrible question to be asked? Absolutely. Have I been asked that? Yes, and I hate it, because if you join and you're in a recruit mode, you haven't made any money. So the question comes down to, do you want to lie? Or do you want to fabricate some abracadabra story? And please, 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 if I don't ever say what I've heard other people recommend you to say. Yeah, I'm involved in this business and da 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 da. I would like for you to come over or like for you to meet us online. Well, what's it about? I don't know, but I got a guy coming or a gal coming. They can tell you all about it. Good grief. I don't know who come up with that one, but that makes you sound like you're a bubbling idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is gone today. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I sincerely hope and I pray that I've said something that can really be a blessing to you. And, I'd just like to say this, that we have a new program coming out here with our show. It concerns social media. And let's see here. Our program that we're implementing is basically 3 weekly posts to about 4 social media accounts per week and 48 posts per month. If you're interested in something like that, because we were looking to solve a problem, because I do 6 live shows a week. I do 5 here on E360 TV, Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Plus, Bill and I, we have a live radio show that we do. And trust me on this, when you're doing 6 live shows a week, it takes a lot of time. A lot of people say, we only work 6 hours a week. I've had people tell me that. I'm going, oh man, if only you knew. There's a lot of nuts and bolts and things you got to do to get information, to get people on board, to, prepare for the show, to present the show. I mean, you're talking hours of work. And so our social media suffered because of that. And we were looking for ways of trying to find an answer. And we finally implemented a program with a team that we have in-house, in control, that can do that. And then Donna made a suggestion to me. She says, well, Jim, we should share this with just a few people because we can't take on 100 people, for goodness sakes. I mean, we just don't have the manpower there to logistically support it. But if you're interested in how you can get your social media promoted and all that, so you can focus like I needed time to focus on the nuts and bolts of the shows, then all you have to do is just email us, and you can get in touch with us here at the TV show. And where's our email address? There it is. Our email address is simply inspiration@e360tv.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I sincerely hope you and your loved ones are blessed in all areas of your life. Be sure to love yourself first, and then you can love others. And most importantly, give yourself grace. Forgive yourself when things, you do that you shouldn't have done, or it's things you said you shouldn't have said. Apologize and give yourself grace and let it go. I'm Jim Grant. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow about living health naturally. Be sure and tune in. Thank you so much.